Now here with assistant coach Chris Clack postgame, and Chris, a 6-2 loss to the Alberni Valley Bulldogs today, and it was one period that was the difference today, and that was the first period where the Bulldogs scored 5 times.
Yeah, again, another slow start. Before the game, that was one of the key points was we need a good start. I think we're 4-5, 0-1 or something like that when we score the first goal in a game this season. Almost 500 hockey team. That's a playoff spot. But yeah, we got to do. I don't know if we got to change up our warm-ups or maybe do a little bit more visualization and how your first couple of shifts are going throughout the game. But when puck drops, everyone's got to be on the same page and everyone's got to be ready to go. That's the difference tonight. It's been the difference the last few games. So.
I know it's a tough thing to explain, but can you really explain what's been going on there at the start of the games? Because it's now 5 games in a row this Kings team has trailed 3-0. And also, we talked last night with Michael McNiven. He said, it was the start of the game last night as well that kind of cost things here. And things got a little worse here tonight at the start of the game, giving up those 5 goals.
Yeah, it's tough to explain. I actually thought our first 3 or 4 shifts were this period in the first period tonight were good, and we had some jump in our step. It seems like when one thing goes against us, whether it's the first goal or a penalty or whatever it is, it kind of comes in flurries, in 2-3 minute spans where for whatever reason we have to snap it right back in right after we make that first mistake, or we give up the first goal. Let's go get the next one. Let's chase the next one. But right now it seems like everything's happening in those 2-3 minute spans, whether it's mental breakdowns or we're shutting off our brains and we're not working for those 3 or 4 minutes or whatever it is, bounces. Things are happening in short periods of time right now, and it's having a big impact on the rest of the game. We got to do a better job of eliminating that and responding right away, when something happens or we face a little bit of adversity.
No, I think the real point there in that first period, I think it was that penalty shot goal. Yeah. You're shorthanded at that point. They score on that penalty shot 2-0, and they're still on the power play, and then they score on the power play, and all of a sudden it was 3-0. That's kind of when it really felt like things were starting to go bad.
Yeah, a couple of moments there, back to back to back. I didn't see the overhead look of the penalty shot goal. My understanding was he fell on the puck, and for it to be a penalty shot, I believe you have to cover it with your hand or purposely cover it. Call doesn't go our way. It's in the back of our net, and then followed by a power play goal there. So yeah, again, it was that 2, 3, 4 minute span that hurt us tonight. We got to do a better job of just responding right away the second we face adversity.
Well, let's talk about some positives here. And you could say the second and the third periods much better periods, and you kind of wonder if the Kings played like they did in those final 2 periods, we could have a much different result here tonight.
100%. It's a 60-minute game and more sometimes for a reason. You can't win a game in the first period, but sometimes you can lose a game in the first period, and we saw that tonight. I thought our effort was definitely better in the second and third period, no question. However, again, we have to find a way to bring it full 60 minutes. It's not 40 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it is. When you're going as a team, it's not good enough, and we see that, and we know that. But we got to learn from it. And we got to execute.
And aside from the effort, what was the element of the Kings game that can really help them improve in the second and third periods?
I thought our slash was really good. We know that their D are pinching on everything. They're super aggressive, and when they're aggressive, a skater can't move as fast as a puck. So when we're moving the puck quick and we're chipping pucks out and we have that slash guy going, we generated a lot of offense in 3-on-2 rushes and 2-on-1 rushes, and then from there I thought our net drive was a lot better tonight than it was last night. Our kickouts, and yeah, I thought that generated a lot of offense for us. But again, it's bearing down. We had our chances. I think we could have generated a little bit more than we even did, but again, it's pucks. It's no secret formula. It's pretty simple. You make simple plays, you play simple hockey. Typically, you get pretty good results, and it's just, get pucks to the net and get bodies there.
Well, the big highlight of the game today was at the end of the second period. A new King, Comox native, Quentin Harvey scoring his first in the BCHL. Good out by Landon Marlowe to feed Harvey, streaking down the wing and able to shoot that one past Colin Wynn.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. He's come in and he's listened to everything we've said. He follows instructions really well. He's coachable. And he put his head down and he just goes to work. You can see he's a workhorse out there, and again, I just talked about it, but he slashes through a little simple chip, and it's a 2-on-1, and he doesn't pass up a shot, and he finds a short side there. So it was really nice to see him get his first.
And then you go into the third period. You get a quick early goal from a Merrick Baudouin, and you're down by 4 with still plenty of time remaining at that point.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've been down by 3 or 4 plenty of times this year. We know what that feels like. We've been in those moments, and we've come back in games. So the belief was there for sure. It was nice that we didn't quit. Merrick goes hard to the net. Nice pass by Jelly there, and it's in the back of the net. He gets rewarded there. Again, a lot of those goals that we're scoring the last 5-6 games are all coming in that low slot just outside the paint. So the more you get there, the more chances you have to score.
Now, I feel like the momentum killer for the rest of the game was that 5-minute major power play that the Bulldogs had, but this Kings team was able to kill off the entire 5 minutes on really probably the best penalty kills of the weekend, I would say.
Yeah, I thought so. I think we've talked more about being a little bit more aggressive and not sitting back, not giving them time to set up, especially on zone entries. I think we've been closing them down a little bit quicker, and we've been having second and third support sealing below and above the pile, which has been good, and that gave us a little bit of success on that 5 minute. Earlier in the game, it would have been huge if we were able to kill off a few more of those. But I think we can build on that moving forward, and it comes down to practice. You play the way you practice, and I think we're just gonna have to raise the intensity in practice this week.
Well, what's next for this Kings team? The playoff window's still open, but it's closing pretty quickly, and you got your next 3 on the road against Nanaimo, Victoria, and Alberni over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think there's always something to play for, no matter what. Whether it's your pride, your heart, getting into a playoff spot and fighting, and I've seen crazier things happen. You never know who's watching either. So I think the message is continuously bring the effort every single night. Play with your heart on your sleeve there, and you never know what can happen. It's a game. It's a game of hockey, and mathematically we're still alive, and I think that's the message, and you just got to believe. And again, I've seen crazier things happen. We take it one day at a time. We approach one game at a time, and we go from there.
Now, lastly, I think I already know the answer to this question, but tomorrow, Super Bowl, Chiefs and Eagles, who you got?
I've learned my lesson not to bet against Kansas City Chiefs, so and Mahomes. But I would love to see the Eagles pull it off. But I don't know if you can go against those Swifties and Kelsey there.
I wasn't really going with that answer. I thought you were full on the Eagles being a Bills fan.
I would love to take the Eagles. Trust me. I don't know. You get burned every time you go against Mahomes.
Yeah,
so.
Playing the safe money there. So that's a big game tomorrow. Chris, thanks for your time here. Post game. We'll talk again in the future.
Thank you very much.